into some current events that's the byproduct of a historical narrative that was given to us. But first, I want to discuss a post that I did where a gentleman was saying that the Aztecs, the Incas, and the Mayas didn't leave pictures of us because we don't have afros in the hieroglyphs. But he failed to recognize that even if your hair is this kind of wool, when it get to a certain length, we start locking our hairs up. They got them people believing that those locks is braids because they don't know who they is. They over here and look. These people came over here as the servants of the Dirty Moors. If you don't know who they was fighting wars with, you don't know who they brought as their servants. These was them villages, them slave villages, labor camps in Europe that they brought these people from. And it don't matter, we got the same phenotype, but we don't have the same genotype. Physiologically, we look similar, but at the core of who we are, we different people by nature. And that's because the nature that we emerged from is the nature of what y'all call today the Americas. Then you got the Dirty Moors, who the same bad as them people that paid $5 to get on the Dawes Road, that looked like they was driven straight from the tundra of the Siberian Peninsula in the wintertime. Pale motherfuckers. We don't have a problem with any other nations of the earth. This is what people keep failing to realize. We not mad at none of them motherfuckers that got did the same way we got done. Our problem is they got a problem with us telling everybody who we are. And we know who we are because we still behave the same way we did 26, 27, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70,000, 100,000 years ago. We got the same culture. The culture has not changed. The only thing changed is the narrative given by invaders. And so if we want to follow the invaders' narrative, then all you stringy hair motherfucker $5 wannabe pretendians, you motherfuckers is conquistadors. Y'all Spaniards, according to them. Y'all not us. But you want to come on my page to try to tell me who I am, and my whole bloodline emerged from the Mississippi red clay dirt. My whole historical family record as the motherfucking root tribe of the land. The first tribe of the earth tribes is the Americas. I done told you people, the ones of y'all that want to keep coming over here, I'm not bothering y'all. Why do y'all feel that y'all have the right to come over here and tell me I don't know who I am while I'm telling my people who we are? And I'm not telling them with speculation. I'm telling them with the facts, right? We organic aboriginals to this land. All you other motherfuckers is Johnny-come-latelys. Now, we don't have to get into no gangster shit about the historical narrative that they keep coming to my page pushing. They can keep coming pushing that bullshit, and then they're going to make Rod Hayes come all the way out on another bag. So, with that being said, let's move to current events. We all sitting here watching as the place that they now call Israel is bombing the people that they call Palestinians. So for the historical record, this is recorded in your Bible as the Canaanite slaughter of the Philistines, in which they came to recruit the help of the children of Jacob in a war against the Canaanites, the Philistines. This is the same shit. They just replaying it out. This is also in Morals and Dogma, Albert Pike, to foment the Third World War, that they had to start some BS in what we call today the Middle East. How is it the Middle East? Make it make sense. You got north, south, east, and west. Where on the compass do we find Middle East? It ain't nowhere on the compass. The yoni of the earth is in South Africa. The navel of the earth is in what we call Mecca, right? But the pituitary gland is what we call the Valley of the Kings in America. And then now y'all want to come because y'all feel some kind of way about us asserting our jurisdictional supremacy on the land. It ain't nothing y'all could do about it. You can come on Ryan Hayes' page, you can complain and vex all of your grievances, but we know everything going on the land because we from the land and the land talk to us. I can't even call them wolf in sheep's clothing. They more like a Sooner hound in sheep's clothing. Piece of crap. See, they trying to get me to show my gorilla colors. My chief said, Rod, we brain banging, we not gang banging. But lo and behold, I will jump out on the bag on some brain bang gorilla, beat my chest, tell you motherfuckers what it is, whether you like it or you don't like it, does not matter to me. That's not my concern. If you over here in the Americas and you saying that we ain't from here, then explain to me the process by which your ancestors, your elders, your tribal leaders that was conquered, since it wasn't us, what's the process? What's y'all redemption process according to the tribal traditions to restore the tribes back to the preeminent jurisdictional supremacy over the land, the air, and the water to be enforcers, caregivers of the great law in honoring of the divine great mother? If you don't know that, shut your ass up and sit down before I make change out of your $2.50 ass, because you're not even a whole $5 Indian. Now, in the history books in World War I, the war was being fought primarily in Europe. There's two factions in Europe at war, and then there's a neutral party. We know the neutral party is Switzerland. And we know now, by following the money, all roads lead to Rome, but to take a real deep pit stop in Switzerland. Because the central banking system, the what we call the World Bank, is stationed in Switzerland. The International Monetary Fund is stationed in Switzerland. Right? The IRS over here, when you pay your so-called taxes, they don't send the check to DC. They send it to either IMF or World Bank. We already track the money. Wall Street has been caught money laundering and human traffic in excess of $1 trillion. They've been caught money laundering in the drug market. Now that's going to come back up. Remember this. Wall Street got caught laundering drug money in excess of $1 trillion. So they got human capital and then they got drug capital. But that's not all. Right? Wall Street has also been caught what they call insider trading and phantom trading of false stocks. And all of this is in excess of $1 trillion. So we had like $3-4 trillion in now just with the Wall Street. We haven't even gotten into something called the International Stock Index Exchange, right? And this is where all of the local community stocks of each corporation called a country or a nation, where all you national motherfuckers is from. They all have to pay money in order to function under the jurisdictional authority under the Vatican and the Crown of England. Remember, it's a 3-city state empire: DC, London, and the Vatican City. And all of the banking is done with the Khazarians. The Khazarians is mulatto hybrid so-called Jews, the descendants of the dirty Moors and their concubines from Europe, right? But we ain't supposed to know this. We don't even supposed to know Prussia was a whole nother functioning system between the fall of Rome and the rise of Russia. We supposed to not know about the czars that came to give aid, service, and assistance to the tribes of the land. They knew who they was coming to give aid and assistance to when they came over here. They want us to think all of the czars was the villains. But when the tribes was fighting the crown of England, the crown of France, the crown of Spain, with their under kings, your Dutch, Portuguese, and your Ottoman Ali's and all of these, while we was fighting them, the only people that offered aid and assistance in our time of peril was the country that we now call Russia. Don't believe Rod Hayes. Go do some research. Get off your lazy ass. Stop waiting on me to give you all the receipts and Google your motherfucking friend. Ask AI. Go to your AI, your Bard GPT, type in Russia's involvement in early colonial America. You don't got to believe me. So you don't have to come over here. Shout out to Kareem Wahua. He the one. That's my dude. He dropped his whole YouTube is receipts. All of the stuff that I'm saying, the receipts is right there. I didn't drop so many receipts right now that I don't even go back and review the receipt no more. I brought the receipt, reviewed the receipt, produced the receipt. I went back over the receipt, not once, but numerous times. I'm done with that. I'm done with that. If you want to know where the receipt is, put your shit in reverse, go back and watch my old shit, and you'll see me dropping the receipts. Hey, Ro. So, here we is in 2024. Israel was established 3 years after the UN. The UN was established at the conclusion of World War II in 1945. 1948, the first act of only then the United Nations consisted of France, England, and the United States. So all them other UN countries that's in there now had nothing to do with the first act of war of the United Nations as an entity. The first act of war was to invade what we called then the West Bank and Palestine, which was actually northeast Egypt. But they don't tell you that, and you don't do the research, and you don't know how to read, and you think you know how to read because you know how to regurgitate the stuff that your scholars told you. All they doing is controlling the narrative. Fuck your narrative. I don't want to control the narrative. I'm just going to tell it like it is, and then I'm going to let people make up their own mind whether they choose to believe me or not believe me. That don't matter to me. I'm past trying to convince motherfuckers of shit. I'm not trying to convince nobody. I'm systematically taking the required steps that these Mississippi clay dirt walking organic aborigines to the land laid down for me to follow. So if any one of you $2.50 ass Indians, you 75-cent Indians, $5 minus a penny Indians, I don't matter which one of y'all it is, whether you are African American or African living in America, or whether you from Russia, from Jamaica, well not Jamaica, they us, whether you from Russia, Portugal, Spain, France, Denmark, China, Japan, any of that shit. If you over here telling the people whose shit this is that it's not their shit, you need to shut up and sit your ass down, because when I get done getting enough of us awakened, you're not going to be able to turn off these youngsters. They gonna be coming for blood because y'all created the condition where they had to be born into a world of misery and suffering. Cause y'all came over here and interrupt our solitude and our peace. It's ain't up to me. I'm just the motherfucker ringing the alarm, setting it off, telling them don't bleed the hype. We was here before they came, and we gonna be here when they leave. The net left a message, and they said this: America will come, and America will go, and we will still be here. If you don't know who the net is, if you don't know who the ancestry is, then I can't help you. I can't help you. But all of the ones that know that Rod Hayes know what he talking about, them ones, and all of the ones that's organic aboriginals to the land, I don't even say indigenous because that's been usurped. Everything's been usurped. I can't even really have a civil conversation with nobody because the civics is all wrong. So now I gotta have hostile, belligerent conversations in order to properly exchange information, being politically incorrect in a politically incorrect society where everybody is telling me because I'm using the F-bombs all the time that I can't know what I'm talking about. Bullshit. I know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not guessing and I'm not making it up. All of the elders before me said the same thing. We was already here. I didn't just pull just because my parents and my grandparents know we from here, I don't have to only rely on them because there's over 5,000 tribes in this together. Remember, it was only so-called 5 civilized tribes holding on to the bear till we figure out how to get this motherfucker's pelt off of him so we can make a blanket for Big Mama. Somebody had to hold them suckers. So now that they done been held long enough for me to give a critical analysis of the invasion, the warfare, the ceasefire, the sorcery that followed, the usurpation, the invasion, the undermining and the usurping. Why do they want us to believe we from Africa so bad? I'm going to tell you why. As long as you don't know where you from, you got no right to no land nowhere. You have no land rights. Your land rights come through your birthright, through your mama line. So if you don't know the process, you ain't from here. It's called the redemption process. I'm the family redeemer. The set of skills that I developed over the years, every tribal chief on the land, whether I like them or not, can call upon me to utilize my skill set if it's going to benefit their clan and the rest of the clans. I just can't take sides in ABS, but I can bust some bullshit upside the head, right? So while I'm busting it upside the head, y'all need to know what's going on, and y'all sitting here, our people is waking up at an alarming rate. Thanks to brothers like Dane Calloway's and Kareem Ahu, right? Like Brother Top Cat, right? Elders like Taj Tariq Bey, like Hakeem Bey. Been telling y'all the whole time, but you only hear what you want to hear. You only hear what you want to hear because if you ain't going with the narrative, you feel like somebody is pulling the wool over your eye. The wool already over your eye, motherfucker. We trying to pull it off. We're trying to lift the veil from your illusion, but you want to stay trapped in the illusion so bad that you're willing to put your life on the line for misinformation, false information, and misdirection. Yep. Another thing before I start getting into my Israeli thing, brother named what's his name? I forgot his name, but he the most uncritical critical thinker I ever ran across. Did a video the other day, and he's talking about because we telling people of the false accusations against Malachi York, that means if you knew the law, you would know the reason the judge refused to accept Malachi's guilty plea. Go back and pull up Big Beach explaining that sometime, I'm gonna post the video later. You know I'm going to bring the receipt. Sometime you have to take a plea, even if you're not guilty, in order to regroup and stand a fighting chance. They was torturing Malachi and telling him that they was torturing the sisters. His name gonna pop in my head in a minute. He one of them flat earthers. And he really, his math be all fucked up. But he swear he be right.